This is Top 5 Trunk or Truck Firearms. What is a trunk or truck firearm? For me, a trunk or truck firearm is one that is easy to throw in my trunk and will survive and hold zero without being in a case while I drive down gravel roads. It needs to have ammo that is readily available in stores, farm stores, big box stores, mom and pop firearm stores, all of them. It needs to be reliable enough. Some 22s aren't going to make the list, but not all 22s are 100% reliable, and 22s are great trunk or truck guns, so they need to be reliable enough. And finally, the firearm needs to be fun to shoot. I'm not going to throw it in my trunk as a random, maybe we shoot this today firearm if it's not something that's a ton of fun to shoot. Number 5. Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 pistol. Don't forget to like and subscribe so Freddy gets his biscuits. While I have this at number 5 on my list, I would say by virtue of its size, combined with how light it is, this is an extremely light pistol for what I look at as almost being a rifle. It is very light, and because of that, it's probably the one that actually ends up in my trunk as my trunk gun most often. It's a simple, easy to clean, easy to maintain, easy to operate firearm. Mine came with the SB Tactical brace attached. Now I would have preferred to have a stock or the option to even remove the brace and buffer tube on here. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't feel that I should have to pay extra for a tax stamp to be able to put a stock on it, so I've left it with the brace because it functions perfectly well with the brace. So I've left it as it came. Now, you've heard, if you watched our review on this firearm, that I've mentioned that I'm not a fan of this faux buffer tube. Really, all it does is exist to have a place for you to attach a stock or a brace to it. And I would prefer the option to remove it altogether if you did not want to have the brace or that extra length at all on there. That being said, I have warmed up to the idea a little, and I do now appreciate that it is on the firearm, because I do like that I can have a stock or a brace on this firearm and shoulder it. In my initial review of this firearm, I said that it was not the most accommodating with ammo, and I stand by that. It doesn't like everything. But what it does like, it performs well with. It can be very accurate. It's a very fun firearm to fire. It's with the full-length rail that they call optics ready, which just means good luck by your own sights. But that full-length rail, it does give you a lot of options as far as putting iron sights and optic with a magnifier, and other attachments as well on there. So I do appreciate that it has the full-length rail on there, even if it didn't come with any optic or sights. Okay, here we go. Now, one of the main reasons this M&P 1522 ends up in my trunk as often as it does, besides its size and its lightweight, is that when I go to, say, the public range, where they only have a handful of pistol bays that are available, if the pistol bays are all full, rather than just sit around twiddling my thumbs waiting, it's nice to have, say, this 1522 in the trunk to where I can sit on the rimfire range or on a rifle bay and shoot some targets and get in some range time while I'm waiting for a pistol bay to open up to, say, shoot pistols that day. Number 4, Ruger AR-556 pistol. Now, due to some sight changes and then weather that flooded out the road to the range, I don't have very much footage of this firearm in use. Well, not much good footage anyway. Let's see what we do have. The Ruger AR-556 pistol is not nearly as light as the Smith & Wesson 1522 pistol. However, it is a similar size, and that makes it one that is very convenient for me to throw in the trunk when I'm, going to the range or, say, the training center. I got the worn Battle Flag version when it came out years ago in trade at a gun show, mostly for lulz. And I'm glad I did. It is such a fun firearm to have. Anytime I bring it out at the range, people just laugh when they see it walking to and from the bay. It's awesome. Now, even better than that is that the firearm is reliable, it's accurate, and it works. And, that's more important than the aesthetics of it. Now, mine also came with the SB Tactical brace attached, which I've left on there. I would, again, much prefer to have a stock, but I don't feel the need to pay for a stamp to do so. I think that's dumb. So I leave the brace on there because it works just fine. Now, one mentionable on this firearm is if you do shoot it at, say, an indoor range or somewhere where you have like a concrete barricade or whatever, it is quite a bit louder than a carbine length or longer AR rifle, in my opinion. It can be punishing. Now, the loudness aside, one of the things that's very appealing about a firearm in this size is that you have the firepower of the AR-556, but then with the short barrel, it is a very wieldy, controllable firearm that if you were, say, close quarters, quote, you could very easily maneuver with this firearm, in my opinion, compared to, say, the full length or a carbine length one. Number 3, Mossberg 590 Shockwave and or Mossberg Maverick 88 Cruiser. The inclusion of a home defense shotgun probably seems odd to some, though the reason I include this as one of my favorite trunk guns is, well, I always shoot these firearms with the mini shells and the Opsol mini adapter installed. Loaded with mini shells, the Shockwave and the Cruiser give you a capacity where you feel like you are in a real-life John Woo action movie when you're out there shooting targets at the range. It's a lot of fun. If you've not experienced it, I highly recommend it. The only real downside is, at times of the year, and for like a year and a half, mini shells were hard to find. And I'm glad I bought a couple cases of them a few years ago, because otherwise we would have been out of luck during, well, basically all of the Rona until last weekend when I found more finally. Here we go. Oh yeah! The gong was a goner. Oh wow, that sucks. can hit the gong maybe. We put hundreds and hundreds of mini slugs, mini shells, mini bird shot through these firearms using the Opsol mini adapter over the years, and they've been without fail. And they've also been 100% fun. Incredibly fun to shoot with the mini shells. I just can't say enough about it. It's so much fun, you have to do it. Now, another reason these make my trunk gun list is firearms this size, they're easy to just toss in the trunk of the car or the back seat of your truck or whatever for a day when you never know, movie shoot day might break out on the range and you might want to shoot a few mini shells from the hip like you're in a Nicolas Cage movie or whatever. These guns help make that happen. A lot of fun. Number 2, CZ Scorpion Evo 3 S1 pistol. This is another example of where we could have included a second gun as a 2A in this spot. The carbine version of the Scorpion, for example, I think with its folding stock can be almost as trunk carryable as what the pistol version is. In my experience, both firearms are extremely accurate, reliable, and fun firearms to use at the range. Now, with them being blowback operated and having a gigantic bolt inside this firearm, there's a surprising amount of recoil when firing it. I didn't expect it at all, but you do actually feel it, and it does kind of, I don't want to say punish you, but it kind of punches you every time you fire this gun. Now, you may notice on my pistol Scorpion that I have the Magpul pistol grip on there. I pre-ordered that well before it came out, and when it came out, boom, slapped it on this pistol version. Fantastic change in my opinion. I would have preferred they went with that right from the get-go. And I'm going to put it on my carbine version when I eventually get around to it. In today's pistol caliber carbine market, one area that I think you can knock the Scorpion is that while it is chambered in, say, 9mm Luger, the magazines are not interchangeable with, say, your pistol, like, say, the Ruger PCC could be. I mean, it uses Glock magazines or can, for example. And that's not the only one. There are others like the B&T and who knows how many others that use a magazine that would be compatible with a pistol that someone would carry along with it. While you can't use your pistol magazine or your Scorpion magazine in the pistol, there are a wide variety of magazines available for the Scorpion. CZ has 10, 15, 20, 30 round magazines available. I have 35 round magazines from Magpul and a 50 round drum even. And all of them work. Well, the drum is a little bit, you can outrun the drum, but everything else 100% reliable. Number 1, CZ 45X rifle. Now we're saying 45X because that could be 452, 455, 457, etc. The family of these rimfire rifles is fantastic. What are you going to aim for first?
Antelope.
Going to 10x zoom. Now they need to have stabilization on these iPhones. Well, apparently 6x is the best you could do.
Ready?
I'm ready. If you didn't hit it, you were right in front of it. But I saw...
Yeah, I think I hit it.
I thought I saw spray pop out the back.
Yeah, I hit it in the bottom.
I thought it was a hit right. Oh, you definitely hit it. I saw a spray pop out the front of it.
Yeah.
That's gonna look cool on slow-mo.
Yeah, I hit it again.
It looked like it rolled even a little.
Same spot. See if I can hit a critter.
Hit the squirrel to the right of it. Oh yeah. I think your bullet ricocheted into the melon.
Rat, far right. I think it might be shooting a tad low, but all right. See, so far I have not missed. So, blue bunny in the grass, that's a hard one.
That's to the right of the logs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got him.
Jeez, that was a good shot, wasn't it?
It would have taken its head off if it wasn't steel.
I got him.
You got him.
Just hit.
Yep. I think you shot through the log and hit him. Right through the edge of the log. Because you kicked up dirt or wood chips.
All that matters is that I got him.
Well, if it was a video game, you'd gotten an achievement award for it. Ricochet hits.
Oh, right over his head.
Yep. Try to hit the gong.
I'll hit it. Yeah, I hit it. Okay, I'm shooting the gong.
Okay. You got it. One of the very nice things about these 4.55 rifles is they have some interchangeable parts. The rifle that we're shooting in the video today started out as a 4.55 Ultra Lux and 22 long rifle. Depending on which version of the 4.55 you look at, they have some subtle differences in the stock. I happen to prefer this 4.55 Ultra Lux style stock. Currently running a Vortex Crossfire, has the scope on it, has pretty good clarity. It holds 0, which is what I was looking for. In the past, I've used a way overpowered budget Chinese scope that held 0, worked just fine. On one of my other 4.55 rifles, I have a Zeiss scope with amazing clarity that works just fine. I mean, all you really need is a scope that holds 0 on your 4.5 rifle. These 4.55 rifles were available in 22 long rifle, 22 Magnum, and 17 HMR. And for around $120 from CZ USA, you could get any of the barrels that you wanted. The Varmint HMR, like I did for the Varmint 17 HMR. You could get the tactical barrel, you could get the Lux barrel, the Ultra Lux barrel, whatever. They all sold them off their website for around $120. Those kits include the tool you need to change the barrel, as well as a magazine. 17 and the 22 Magnum use the same magazine, so you got that going for you if you swap between those. Everyone in the crew has 2 or more of these 4.55 rifles, so as a result, I've had access to every different version of it and different caliber, and I've shot them quite often. Anytime there's a rimfire shoot going on, a 4.55 rifle is present. These rifles are extremely accurate. Often when we do, say, a contest at Banner and you show up, it's like, what are you shooting? 4.55? Yeah, well, that's going to be a tie because I brought a 4.55 and we're just going to shoot in the same hole all day. Besides being extremely accurate, another nice thing about these firearms is they work in basically all the weather that I shoot them in. When it's shitty, windy, cold outside, they work, and when it's hot and humid and sticky outside, they work, and they work well, and they're just a joy to shoot. Got him. Let's hit him again. Well, I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good day.